All right, let's be real for a second about meditation. For a lot of us, it can feel, well, kind of intimidating, right? Today, we're going to totally change that. We're going to give you a personalized toolkit for a practice that actually works with your brain, not against it.
So, when I say the word meditation, what's the very first thing that comes to mind? Go on, think about it. For most people, it's usually the same classic image.
You know the one, right? Someone sitting perfectly still, legs crossed, eyes closed, and their mind is just totally calm. A blank slate. And that image, honestly, it can feel pretty impossible to live up to. It's a lot of pressure.
But what if that's not the whole story? What if that's not the only way to do it? What if there's a better, more personalized way for you? Because there is. The key isn't finding one perfect practice. It's about having the right tool for the right moment.
All right, so let's get right into it. We're going to start by blowing up the biggest myth about meditation, this idea that it's this one single monolithic practice.
The reality is, meditation is this huge umbrella term. It covers a ton of different exercises for your mind. Sure, it can be the classic sitting with your eyes closed thing, but you know what else it is? It can be a body scan or a walking meditation where you're really paying attention to the world around you, or even just intensely listening to a piece of music. They're all just different ways of training your attention.
So to figure out how all these different practices actually work, and the important part, how to pick the right one for you, we got to look at this little hidden switch that we all have inside our brains.
Okay, so this switch, it controls what we call perception. And perception isn't just everything that's happening around you. Nope, it's what you choose to focus on. It's like you have this mental spotlight. You can aim it wherever you want, you can make the beam really narrow or super wide, and you can even try to split it between two things at once.
Now, here's the cool part. That spotlight of your attention, it can basically be aimed in two directions. You can point it inward, the sciencey term for this is interoception, to notice things inside your body, like your heartbeat or your breathing. Or you can aim it outward, that's called exteroception, and focus on everything outside your body. The sights, the sounds, the world around you.
And this is the secret sauce right here. Every single meditation practice out there, doesn't matter if it's a 10-day silent retreat or a 5-minute mindful walk, it's all just an exercise. It's like going to the gym for your brain, lifting mental weights to get stronger at controlling this inward-outward switch on command. So why should we even care about training this mental muscle? I mean, what's the big deal? Well, a really famous study out of Harvard gives us a huge clue. It draws this direct line between where our attention goes and how happy we are.
Okay, so back in 2010, some researchers at Harvard published this study in Science magazine, and the title basically gave away the entire kind of shocking conclusion. They were trying to answer a simple question. Where do our minds go all day? And does it matter for our happiness?
And what they found was just, wow, it was staggering. They'd ping people on their phones all day and ask them what they were doing and what they were thinking about. And they discovered that our minds are wandering, thinking about something totally different from what we're actually doing for almost half our lives. Get this, 47% of the time. So here's the kicker. It wasn't what people were doing that made the biggest difference in their happiness. It was whether their mind was with them while they were doing it. It was all about the match or mismatch between their focus and their action. And here's the really wild part. Even if they were daydreaming about something pleasant, if their mind was wandering away from the present moment, they reported being less happy. That's huge.
Okay, so let's connect the dots. If a wandering mind is an unhappy mind, and meditation is the gym for our attention, then how do we get the best workout? How do we train most effectively? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. It's a two-step technique, and it's kind of counterintuitive.
So here's how it works. It's really simple. Step 1 is you just do a quick self-diagnosis. Just ask yourself, in this exact moment, where is my mind leaning? Am I stuck in my head with thoughts just looping over and over? Or am I totally distracted by everything going on around me? Once you figure out your bias, you do step 2. You go against the grain. You do the exact opposite.
But why would you do that? Why choose the harder thing? Well, because our brains don't change when things are easy. Think about it. You don't build muscle by lifting air. You need resistance. It's that friction, that challenge of pushing against your brain's default setting that tells it, hey, time to change, time to get stronger. You are literally rewiring your brain in real time. That's neuroplasticity in action.
And this simple idea completely transforms how we think about meditation. It's not a rigid, one-size-fits-all prescription anymore. Instead, it becomes this dynamic, flexible toolkit. It's something you can personalize and adapt to whatever your mind is doing in any given moment.
So let's make this super practical. How about we try it right now? Just for a second, check in with yourself. Where is your attention right now? Is it drifting inward, lost in thought? Or is it pulled outward, to the world around you? Just notice.
Okay, scenario 1. Let's say you check in and you realize, yep, I am totally stuck in my head. Maybe your thoughts are racing, or you're feeling anxious, or you're just replaying some conversation over and over. Your bias is inward. It's interoceptive.
So, your job is to go against that grain. You need to pick a practice that forces your attention outward. So, maybe you pick a single spot in the room and just stare at it. Or you could go for a walk and really focus on the sounds of the street. Or even just put on a song and try to pick out every single instrument. You're giving your outward-facing, your exteroceptive muscles a workout. All right, but what about the flip side? Scenario 2. Maybe you check in and you feel completely scattered. Your attention is being pulled in a million different directions by notifications, by sounds, and you just feel kind of disconnected from your own body. Your bias is outward. It's exteroceptive.
If that's you, then your mission is to strengthen that inward focus. And this is where those classic meditation styles really shine. So you'd want to close your eyes and just focus on the physical feeling of your breath going in and out. Or you could do a body scan, slowly moving that spotlight of your attention from your toes all the way up to the top of your head. And that really gets to the whole point of all this. The goal isn't to achieve some perfect, permanent state of Zen. It's not about that at all. It's about building mental flexibility. The neuroscientist Andrew Huberman said it perfectly. The real skill is being able to deliberately and dynamically point your focus wherever you want it to go, whenever you want. So, there you have it. The toolkit is now in your hands. You're not just following some generic script anymore. You're basically becoming your own personal brain trainer. So the only real question left is, which tool are you going to pick up first?